Have you ever been in a situation where you don't know what to do with the Hyperion? It's no doubt that the Hyperion is the most sought after weapon in Hypixel Skyblock. It unlocks a ton of content, and realistically, it's essential when progressing into later stages of the game. Everyone's reactions to the first time when they use Hyperion is pretty much the same. Wow, this is fun. But you see, I've found myself in a very unique situation where I have one Hyperion, and I also have another one. For those of you who are about to angrily comment telling me that I'm copying Future 77, I guess it kind of does look like I'm copying him, considering he also made a video about a second Hyperion. But it's not intentional. Look, I'll even give his video a like, and that's kind of a sin. Sorry about that. However, that's just not how it is. I didn't really expect to find myself in this situation, and I guess it's time to find out. Is there any point in having a second Hyperion? Well, of course, the main thing that we can change about the Hyperion to see if it's worth having a different Hyperion, of course, these Hyperions are very similar, and there's no point in having both of these, is probably the ultimate enchant. We can change this ultimate enchant, and maybe it will change what this Hyperion can do. The only issue is realistically thinking about it, there aren't really any ultimate enchantments that you'd want on a Hyperion other than ultimate-wise, other than potentially Chimera. Let's be honest, who wouldn't want Chimera on any weapon? However, at the moment, if I was to try to insta-buy Chimera 5, it would cost approximately 2.5 billion coins. Now, I don't have that sort of money. It might be argued, if you're in a situation where you have two fully scrolled Hyperions, why would you not be able to afford Chimera to put on them? Which is a very valid point, but that's just not how it's worked out. So, what else can we do? If we take a look at the other ultimate enchantments that we can put on the Hyperion, of course, ultimate-wise, people use ultimate-wise because it reduces mana costs, which means you can spam the Hyperion more, which is very important. Things like combo, no. Chimera, yeah. I'd like it, can't afford it, move on. Swarm, potentially, we're going to look at this one. Soul Eater, critical hit, no. Fatal Tempo, no. Frosty, no. Inferno, seems a bit risky, no. One for All, doesn't work. So, we really are in a situation where we have to go for Chimera, which we can't afford, or potentially Swarm. So, I guess we're kind of having our hand forced. So, here's to a Swarm 5 Hyperion. I really am sorry, this is a sin. And we will be testing that out in a little while. For any of you who are confused as to why I have two Hyperions, and I'm confused as to what to do with the second Hyperion, seems a little bit unprecedented, which it definitely is. Well, at the moment, over in my Discord server, we're currently hosting a festive island build event where the prize pool we put was 2.5 billion coins, but because of some of the donations we've had from the community, could be way more than 2.5 billion coins. Participants' islands will be judged by myself, Refraction, Future 77, and Zenergy on a live stream on Saturday, December the 9th. So that should be pretty cool. The Hyperion, along with a large sum of coins, was a donation. So that's why I currently have two Hyperions. Anyway, if you do want to get involved in that event, then make sure to join my Discord server. It's linked in the description down below. Also, while you're here, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS. It gets yourself 5% off. Also, you should subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot. Anyway, it's time to gear up and see what this Swarm Hyperion can do. First of all, let's review the damages of losing ultimate-wise. Okay, so that's going to take 150 mana off us for using the Hyperion with ultimate-wise. And without ultimate-wise, it's going to take 300 mana. Holy, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is going to be tough. You're definitely going to need a good mana regeneration set to be able to use this. Anyway, let's just straight up test some one-hit damage. So with our ultimate-wise Hyperion, we're going to deal, that was 3 enemies, 2.95 million damage. With our Swarm, 3.3 million damage. Now, when you right-click with Hyperion, of course, if there's 10 enemies within a 10-block radius of you, then there's going to be some collateral damage. So it's going to be, I guess, not exactly clear initially how much damage you actually deal per hit. There's quite a lot of enemies here. Let's just give this a try. Okay, 4 enemies for 13.8 million. That equates to about 3.45 million damage per hit, which is substantially better than the ultimate-wise Hyperion. Okay, next we're going to do a very, very, very scientific test. So, we have mana regen 7 on 3 pieces of armor. We have mana regen 5 on 4 pieces of equipment. We're going to take our ultimate-wise Hyperion and we're just going to spam as much as we can. And we're going to see how long we can spam for. Like I said, very scientific. So with ultimate-wise, we managed to spam our Hyperion for 8.83 seconds until we had no mana left. And now the non-ultimate-wise, we managed 3.87 seconds. So that isn't ideal. So what we need to figure out is an area or place where we need to deal a lot of damage with our Hyperion, but not actually use it very often. Which... Huh. Yeah, it's got me stumped. Yeah, this non-Ultimate Wise Hyperion does have Flawless Gemstones on, whereas this one has Perfects. But it's a 20 intelligence difference. It's not going to make a big difference. Anyway, let's venture into dangerous territory. See if this makes any difference. I mean, I'm just kind of observing the same as I was before. I'm running out of mana really quickly. I'm dealing slightly more damage with the Swarm Hyperion, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, maybe against Flares this could be decent, considering it's classified as 3 mobs being stacked on top of each other, meaning that we could potentially deal maybe 30% extra damage if that's how it works. At the same time, we're going to run out of mana really quickly, but we'll try. I don't recommend this. Alright, let's take a slightly different approach to this. I asked ChatGPT why I should get 2 Hyperions. ChatGPT suggested I should dual-wield Hyperions, allowing me to deal significantly more damage since the Hyperion is a melee weapon. I guess we'll move on to the next. Enchantments and Reforges? I guess that's true, that's what we've just tried. Versatility? Similar again. Reduced downtime? No. Trading and selling? In some cases, you may want to trade or sell one of your Hyperions. The rarity and demand for Hyperion can make it a valuable item in the in-game economy. Well, my question was, why should I get 2 Hyperions? And, I mean, it's just assuming we already have 2 at this point. At the bottom it says it's basically worth having a Hyperion as this is a significant investment. And I guess it's kind of true, but Hyperion is always a relatively stable item to invest in, usually. So thank you to ChatGPT for shedding some very interesting light on the situation. That was really helpful. I guess we can give it a go in dungeons and see, because at the end of the day, in dungeons with the mana scaling, it might not be as noticeable having less mana. Well, not less mana, but in principle less mana because the mana cost is greater. Anyway, let's test it out. Okay, let's see what this Swarm Hyperion can do. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. I mean, that was pretty optimal. Then there was at least 7 or 8 mobs that were standing right on top of each other, and we managed to deal, what was that? 160 million damage to 7 enemies, which is 22 million per hit, which is really pretty good. As opposed to using our Ultimate Wise Hyperion, dealing 14.6 million damage. That's a massive difference. But I'm not saying it's the best idea in the world to take Ultimate Wise off your Hyperion, or even just have 2 Hyperions. One for dungeons with Swarm on, or probably Chimera would be even better. However, it's got to be said that the fact that you don't have you don't have Ultimate Wise is not missed as much as it is outside of dungeons as it is inside of dungeons, because you simply have more mana. So honestly, it's not that bad. You can still kind of spam and get away with it. Like, look, I'm spamming, and I've still got 9k mana. Granted, I'd be able to spam for twice as long with my Ultimate Wise Hyperion, but that's really not bad. Like right here, we just dealt 178 million damage to 5 enemies. That's 35 million damage per hit. That is outrageous. I mean, granted, this is just a 4/6, and we don't need to deal that much damage, but if you translate this into higher floors, man, honestly, I'm genuinely, seriously impressed. I really am. Is it worth buying the second Hyperion for? Yeah. I mean, there's one good thing that probably has come out of this video, is if you've ever had an intrusive thought and had a lot of coins in Skyblock as to what you would do with 2 Hyperions, you don't need to even think about it. You've seen this video. You can make your mind up. Is it worth it or not? Okay. Let's see what we can do. So these terracottas... Okay, I'm actually going to die. Alright, we're not going to see what we can do to the terracottas. I'm going to assume we would have been absolutely fantastic against them. Oh my god, just pretend you didn't see it. That didn't even happen. To be honest, would it really be me testing out something in dungeons without dying in 4/6? Probably not. So in conclusion, if you have a second Hyperion, you should just give it to somebody who doesn't have one. You know, give it to a friend. They'll appreciate it more. Don't have 2. Don't be greedy.